How to pray and receive. Prayer is not a tool for bending God's will to human desire. It is the surrender of human desire into God's will. Scripture shows clearly that receiving from God is inseparably connected to alignment with His purpose, not the intensity of our wishes. Jesus defined the pattern of true prayer: "Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven." Matthew 6:10. This was not poetic language but the foundation of communion with God. Prayer that begins and ends with God's will is prayer that heaven answers. James draws a sharp distinction between faith and lust. "Ye ask, and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lusts." James 4:3. Unanswered prayer is not blamed on God's silence but on human motive. When prayer is driven by self-gratification, ambition, fear, or control, it becomes desire-speaking religious language. John gives the assurance, "If we ask anything according to His will, He heareth us." 1 John 5:14. God does not promise to answer every request, but He promises to hear every prayer aligned with His will. The power of prayer is not in asking for more, but in asking rightly. Jesus modeled this surrender in Gethsemane. "Not my will, but thine be done." Luke 20-42. Prayer that seeks God's will may not remove the cup, but it always releases grace to drink it. Paul confirms this inward work: "The Spirit itself maketh intercession for us according to the will of God." Romans 8:27. True prayer often changes the heart before it changes circumstances. Paul exhorts believers to pray without ceasing. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. This is not endless requests, but a continual posture of dependence. He prayed without ceasing to visit Rome, yet always added by the will of God. Romans 1:9-10, and admitted his plans were delayed v. 13. Persistent prayer did not override God's timing. Likewise he said, "I will come to you shortly, if the Lord will." 1 Corinthians 4:19. The clearest lesson is Paul's infirmity. He prayed 3 times for its removal, yet God answered, "My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." 2 Corinthians 12:9. The prayer was heard, but the answer was grace, not escape. Receiving does not always mean getting what we ask for, but always being given what is sufficient. To ask for wishes is to pray from lack. To ask for God's will is to pray from trust. Lust says, "Lord, give me what I want." Faith says, "Lord, give me what you want for me." The key to receiving is surrender. When God's will becomes the desire of the heart, prayer and answer meet as one.